All right, new bike day. See how this thing does. This is my favorite local trail loop, so wanted to bring the new bike out here and test it out on some familiar terrain. The idea with this bike is that it's capable enough to do some of these big epic mountain rides that we have out here. Wanted to get something that was light enough and nimble enough to be a little more fun on more casual rides, coming off of a 2022 Yeti SB130 launch ride with 137 millimeters of rear suspension and 160 on the front. This Cannondale Habit is 130 in the rear and 140 in the front. Makes a notable difference, especially spec'd with a little bit a lighter casing, faster rolling tires. It does feel faster and more nimble. This bike has pretty par for the course modern trail geometry. 65-degree head tube angle, 77 plus seat tube angle. Not sure exactly what the wheelbase is. I'll put that up on the screen. But it's fairly long, which should provide some nice stability at speed, especially since we may not be getting that from the travel numbers, which are on the shorter side, but totally adequate for most people, which is part of why I wanted to buy this bike, just to prove a point that a lot of people are over-biked. And I'm really liking it so far. The design of this Cannondale is pretty unremarkable. Has just about everything you'd expect in a bike of this category. A few things that did draw me to it were size-specific geometry. It has fairly long chain stays in the size large, which I'm riding 445. Also has 445 on the extra large. Might be 435 for medium and small. First time I rode a bike with a little bit longer chain stays was a Transition Smuggler, which is what I would have gone for, but I couldn't find one. So far, I'm pretty happy with this getting a lot of the same things that I wanted out of it. Oh yeah, this thing will jump. So I just think those longer chain stays provide a really nice balanced feel. Let's see, rollable, nice. Oh yeah, this feels fantastic. Definitely wish I brought my gloves. These grips are getting slippery. Yeah, this is exactly what I was hoping it would be. It feels just a little bit smaller and a little bit lighter than the Yeti, which is odd because I believe it has a slightly longer wheelbase. Yep, that's the easier line, believe it or not. I'm pretty hard pressed to find any reviews for these 130, 140 trail bikes, which is a shame because I think that this probably is what most people should be looking at. Yep, climbs just fine. People will tell you that horse link bikes, horse link being the rear suspension linkage design, everyone says they climb terribly, but really on 130 millimeters of travel as an average rider, I really don't think you're going to notice or care about the difference, which is yet another theory that I wanted to prove, because if you don't want to ride horse link, it rules a lot of bikes out, actually most of them. So I wanted to try it for myself, see if it made any difference to me, and I mean, I can tell that it's not as efficient as my Yeti, which is well known for being among a handful of the most efficient bikes that you can buy. So it's a pretty high bar, and climbs just fine. Feels efficient and light. Okay. Nice and controlled. Okay. Piece of cake. Buy the bike for your local trails, is what they say. Ta-da! Ow. Oh. That was a bit sloppy. I will say that from the few bikes I've ridden, the modern geometry really does do a lot for you out on the trail. Newer bikes are quite a bit safer. They're more stable and less likely to get you. All right, we'll see if we can get up this. Yep. Yeah. This thing rips, man. It's more lively on the descents. Doesn't have any in-frame storage or adjustable geometry. There's nothing here that you don't need. You're not paying extra for little bells and whistles. You can still absolutely shred on a little bit less travel when you have the length and the geometry to back you up. A lot of people are saying that a lot of new bikes are straight down the middle, okay, outriding the suspension because the geometry is so aggressive. So, I don't know, make it that what you will. Yeah, this thing just carves so nicely. Just feels light and sporty. I haven't felt like I've overwhelmed the travel yet. And it shares a frame with its bigger brother, which is 140 in the rear, 150 in the front. This is a nice chunky bed here. So if I ever wanted to, oh God, I hate this. So sketchy. If I ever wanted to upgrade the bike with a bit more travel, make it more aggressive as my skills progress, we know the frame can handle it. But I'd really like to keep this light, lively feel for as long as possible. Maybe forever, you know. I just don't think I ever want to ride so hard where I need 150 millimeters in the front. I think you pay a real weight penalty for that. Try not to bash my shiny new bike on those rocks. It's quite the trade-off with the tires here. Pretty typical lighter duty trail tires. They're lighter, they're faster rolling, they're not as confident in the corners. But the bike gets up to speed so much faster, which just makes it fun and more exciting on, you know, blues and greens. I'm sure I'll be riding some blacks on this bike. Man, this thing just it feels so fast. See if we can get a little air. Oh yeah, easy peasy. Yeah, it's just so much fun to pump and hop around on. I think I'm faster on this bike. Which is awesome. pretty happy with my purchase. I don't know why I always seem to learn things the hard way. I think it has something to do with marshmallows. Yeah, pretty forgiving bike. You got the most fantastic sunsets right here. Well, I'd say that was a pretty successful outing. Didn't drop the bike.